Keth Ralvorn clamped his gauntleted fist around the human's collar and yanked her from the shuffling line of captives. The frail creature stumbled, but caught herself. She planted her boots wide, locked her knees. Her brown eyes locked onto his faceplates, unblinking. No fear. No drop in gaze. Keth snarled and shoved her back against the corridor bulkhead. The other prisoners halted, their chains rattling. Guards flanked the line, mandibles clicking in anticipation. "You will kneel," Keth barked, inches from her face, "or I strip your hide for the recyclers." His voice died mid-word. Silence crushed his throat. Keth blinked. He opened his mandibles again. Nothing emerged but a faint wheeze. The human tilted her head. She jabbed a finger at his throat vents. "Let go," she said, voice steady. "No." Keth tightened his grip on her collar. Pain flared in his larynx. He squeezed harder, forcing her up onto her toes. Still, no sound came. Guards shifted closer. Keth raised his free claw, signaling them forward. The human twisted in his hold. Her skin brushed his gauntlet where the seal had torn. Warm, moist. He shoved the contact away. His throat spasmed. Wheeze. Click. Nothing. Panic flickered. Keth released her collar and clawed at his own vents. The human dropped to her feet. She rubbed her neck but kept her stance wide, eyes on him, calculating. "Guards!" Keth mouthed the command. No vibration. His primary guard, Vex, tilted his crest. "Enforcer?" Keth pointed at the human, seized her arm, dragged her toward the nearest security alcove. She resisted with planted feet, forced him to haul her weight, light but stubborn, like dragging a bolted crate. Vex followed, scanner raised. "Enforcer Ral Voren, report." Keth slammed the human against the alcove wall, gestured wildly at his throat, tapped his comm patch. Dead. The human watched, arms loose at sides, no thrashing. No pleas. Vex scanned Keth's vents. "Obstruction? Toxin?" Keth nodded at the human. Vex's scanner beeped over her. "Negative on weapons. Human baseline. Summon Silex Prime," the human said. Vex froze. Keth spun on her. She met his glare. "I'm Mara Vance. Technician." That wheeze. Laryngeal edema. "Your medic needs to see it." Keth's crest flared. How did she know his physiology? Vex hesitated, then keyed his comm. Medic to security deck. Enforcer compromised. Keth pinned Mara's shoulders. She didn't flinch, just watched his mandibles work silently. Footsteps echoed. Silex Prime burst into the alcove, the xenobiologist's manipulator's word, probe extended. Vocal failure. "During restraint?" Keth pointed at Mara, released her. Stepped back. Silex scanned his throat. Swelling at secondary chords. Protein cascade. Alien to our proteome. Probe swung to Mara. She stood still. "Human dermal transfer," Silex muttered. "Symbiont bacteria. Staphylococcus variants. Harmless to her. Ours?" Keth's vents burned hotter. Silex's optics widened. "Initiates anaphylaxis in Ralvoran tissue. Paralysis of vibratory membranes. You touched her?" Keth nodded. Fist clenched. Silex turned to Mara.
"Deliberate?"
"No." Mara's voice cut clean. "Your enforcer grabbed my collar. Tore the seal. Skin contact. Sweat, probably. Humans shed microbes constantly." "You don't." Keth's blood chilled. Her tone. Clinical, like briefing a crew chief. Silex's manipulators clicked. Model predicts dormancy in vacuum. But proximity. Accelerated. Extraordinary resilience in her microbiome. Footfalls boomed. Captain Ruin stormed in. Bulk filled the alcove. Ral Voren. Status. Keth gestured at his throat. Prune's eyes narrowed on Mara. Human.
"You disrupted my enforcer." Mara faced the captain.
Straightened. Accident. Biological mismatch. He needs antihistamines, statins to block the cascade. Haroon's crest pulsed. Silex? Confirmed. Human biochemistry triggers it. Enforcer inhaled trace volatiles during intimidation. Direct contact sealed it. Keth's mandibles ground. Intimidation. Routine. Humiliating a soft skin. Now this. Haroon glared at Mara. You volunteer knowledge. Practicality. Mara shrugged. I fix systems. Biology's just wetware. Ignore it. He stays mute. Ship suffers. Silex probed Keth's vents again. Swelling holds. Injectors prepped. But recurrence risk high. Isolate vector. Ruin's gaze drilled Mara. Her, Kath shook his head. No, she stayed calm through his threats. Observed, now diagnosed his flaw. Rune keyed ship-wide. Quarantine protocol. Enforcer Ral Voran and human Mara Vance to medbay isolation. Full scan. No contact, till resolved. Guards seized Mara's arms. She didn't resist. Just glanced at Keth. Eyes steady. Silex injected Keth's neck. Cool rush. Throat eased fractionally. But no voice yet. They marched them down the corridor. Prisoners gawked. Whispers hissed. Keth's shame burned. Decorated enforcer. Silenced by a human's skin. Medbay doors hissed open. Isolation chamber. Stark plasteel. 2 bunks. 1 console. Shared air cycler. Guards shoved Mara in. Locked Keth beside her. Rune loomed at the viewport. Silex monitors. Vance, you claim expertise. Restore him. Fail, you vent. Doors sealed. Mara turned to Keth. Sat on her bunk. Show me your throat. Keth recoiled. She waited, patient. He crossed arms. She sighed, pulled a tool from her cuff. Stowed during capture? No. Prisoner garb. Wait. Her fingers worked the bunk latch. Exposed a diagnostic port. Jacked in a scavenged fiber. Console flickered. Ship's mednet. Cross-reference human-xeno interactions. Keth lunged. Grabbed her wrist. She didn't pull away, just pointed at the screen. See? Your species cords vibrate at 300 hertz, ours at 100. But the protein match. Your histamines overreact to our peptides, like peanut allergy, but systemic. Keth stared. Screen scrolled data. Her fingers flew. Hacked the interface. Silex's voice crackled over intercom.
Human! Unauthorized access!
Mara ignored it. Tapped injector panel. Double the statin dose. Flush with saline. Bypass the vents. Direct vein. Keth hesitated. Throat itched. He nodded. She prepped the injector. Held it out. He took it. Injected. Burn faded. Tested mandibles. Trial. Voice rasped. Weak, but there. Mara nodded. Progress. Rune's voice boomed. Vance. Explain breach. Fixing your problem. She faced the viewport. Captain.
Your enforcer grabbed me raw. No decon.
Humans carry bugs your clean rooms don't model. We're not fragile. We're armored inside. Keth flexed his throat. Watched her. She dismantled his humiliation. Piece by code. Silex chimed. Swelling down 40%. Recheck in cycle. Rune grunted. Ral Voran, guard her. She destabilizes. But useful. Chamber light dimmed. Mara bunked down. Keth stood watch. Eyes on her back. Her breathing even. Resilient. His claw traced the gauntlet tier. One touch. Rethought power. She stirred. Sleep, warrior. Trust the fix. He didn't, but sat. Watched the console tick. Her hack lingered. Data flowed. Human capability, unseen. His voice returned slow, but her gaze never dropped. Keth slammed Mara Vance into the holding bay wall. Her shoulder hit alloy with a thud. He clamped his gauntleted claw around her upper arm. Skin contact. Raw. No decon spray. Human stank of unfiltered peptides. Irrelevant. He peeled back his mandibles to roar for guards. Silence rasped from his throat. A wheeze, no volume. Mara twisted in his grip. Mole. Dense. She didn't scream. Her eyes flicked to his face. Narrowed. She raised her free hand. Crude gestures. Palm down. Slow wave. Breathe. Her chest rose. Fell. Deliberate. Mimicked a rhythm. In. Out. Slow. Keth's throat burned. Swelling clamped his vents. He released her arm. Clenched fists. Tried again. Gwa. Croak. Air whistled. Panic spiked. He towered over her. Posture rigid. Warrior stance. Crest flared. Grabbed her collar. Lifted her toes off deck. Threat pure. She didn't flail. Matched his rhythm. In. Out. Gestured again. Throat. Point to mouth. Calm. He dropped her. She landed light. Coughed once. Watched him. No fear scent. Humans masked it. Keth pounded his chest plate. Voice test. Report. Nothing but scrape. Mandibles locked half open. Breath labored. He swung at the bulkhead. Dented metal. Echoed in the bay. Guard should have swarmed by now. His shout failed. No backup. Mara backed to the wall, hands up. Signed. Water. Pointed to his neck. Then her own arm. Med check. He loomed. Could snap her limb. Easy. Payback for the breach alarm she triggered earlier. But no call.
No proof. Captain Hrun demanded logs clean.
Her word against his rasp. She tapped her wrist, mimicked writing. Help talk. Water first. Keth's vents hitched. Throat itched fire. He jabbed the comm panel. No sound. Slapped it silent. Stared at her practical eyes. Technician's gaze. Scanned his posture like faulty wiring. Water, she mouthed. Clear. Slow. He snarled, mute. Grabbed a conduit pipe. Twisted. Ripped free. Coolant dripped. Not water. Close. Thrust it at her. She took it. Sipped. Nodded. Pointed to injector cabinet. Locked. Gestured unlock. Keth hesitated. Claws flexed. She waited. Rhythm again. In. Out. He punched the lock. Cabinet popped. She grabbed saline pouch. Basic. Human standard? No, their medkit held xeno patches. She tore one. Slapped it on his gauntlet tear, where skin met hers. Cool spread. Itch eased fraction. He tested. Wheeze. Better flow. Mara nodded. Dragged a stool. Sat. Pointed up. Him. He perched on crate edge. Towered still. Watched her hands. She signed. Name, Mara. Pointed his chest. Keth, he grated. Voice thread. Progress. Her lips twitched. Not smile. Acknowledgement. Bay door hissed. Silex Prime entered. Medic's robes crisp. Scanner word. Ral Varon. Report vocal loss. Keth rose. Pointed Mara. Blamed her. Silex scanned him. Beeped. Peptide mismatch. Human dermal transfer. Histamine cascade. Swelling 70%. Statins inbound. Mara stood. Allergy. Like peanuts. Systemic. Silex's optics narrowed. Human. Contained. Check him first.
Mara stepped between. Tiny shield.
Keth flexed claws. Watched. She blocked Medic's path. Bold. Silex paused. Data indicates enforcer error. No decon. Captain Hrun's voice crackled calm. Silex. Status. Captain. Raul Vorin. Compromised. Human vector. Hrun growled. Interrogate Vance. She breached cargo lock earlier. Keth grabbed Mara's shoulder. Propelled her to corner bunk. Chained her ankle loose. Sat opposite. Guard duty. Mute, mostly. She settled. Pulled datapad from sleeve. Hacked. No signal. Drew diagrams. Throat anatomy. Human overlay. Pointed differences. Our vents narrower. Peptide binders weak. Keth leaned. Traced lines. Her finger steady. Explained silent. Flush system. Saline chase. Silex returned. Injected statin. Monitored. Swelling 50%. Voice partial cycle. Keth rasped. Human stays chained. Mara met his gaze. Chain breaks trust. I fix faster free.
Silex chimed. Models fail.
Human resilience skews. Antibodies adapt mid-cascade. Keth's throat loosened. Trial speak. Full word. Rough. Mara nodded. Stood. Tested chain. Rattled. Water more. Food. I-code translator. He unchained. Risk. But voice edged back. She moved to console. Fingers danced. Hacked interface. Alien script bent human quick. Alarm blared soft. Silex. Unauthorized. Keth tensed. Grabbed her wrist. She held steady. Tapped injector. Double statin. Vein direct. He took injector. Hesitated. Her eyes level. Trust the fix? Burn faded post-jab. Mandibles worked. Trial. Raspid true. Hrun boomed. Vance. S.
Explain.
She faced viewport. Captain. Enforcer grabbed raw. No decon. Humans armored inside. Bugs your clean rooms, miss. Keth flexed throat. Watched her dismantle his error. Code by code. Silex. Swelling down 40%. Recheck. Hrun. Rail. Boren. Guard her. Destabilizes. Useful. Lights dimmed. Mara bunked. Back to him. Breathing even. Keth stood watch. Claw traced gauntlet tear. One touch. Rethought power. She stirred. Sleep, warrior. Trust fix. He sat. Console ticked. Her hack flowed data. Human unseen strength. Voice returned slow. Her gaze never wavered. Hours cycled. Keth's voice strengthened. Graded orders to Silex via console. Full scan human. Nedic complied. Probed Mara. Baseline elevated. Adrenaline normalized fast. Species anomaly. Mara endured. Normal for us. You grab, we adapt. Keth loomed near. Proximity forced. Her scent shifted. Less peptide threat. Familiar now. Hrun summoned. Bridge feed. Ral Voran. Vocal? Affirm. Human aided. Captain's crest twitched. She breaches again? Keth glanced Mara. She repaired console patch. Efficient. Monitored. Keeper contained. Trial utility. Feed cut. Keth returned bay. Mara offered water pouch. He took, drank deep. Why help? His voice gravel. She shrugged. Practical. Mute guard no good. Ship crashes. Cultural gap. Humans. Fixed first. Fought later. Silex intruded. Data update. Human peptides trigger our over-response. Irresilience. Underestimated. Keth grunted. Watched Mara bunk again. Chain off. Risk accepted. Dawn cycle lit. He tested roar, full. But throat remembered burn. Mara rose. Progress? He nodded. Claw brushed her arm. Decon this time. No reaction. She signed okay. Worked console. Data streamed. Ship logs? Hers now. Hrun calmed. Enforcer. Human stable? Cooperating. Guard tight. She unravels order. Keth's grip tightened on panel. Order? She restored his voice. His control. Proximity nod. Her calm invaded. Warrior's doubt. Mara paused work, met his stare. Trust builds slow. Like voice. He turned away, but sat closer, watched her code. Human capability. Revealed. Bay sealed. Scrutiny from vents. Silex cams. Hostile eyes. Keth positioned between. Protected asset? Or more. Her hand brushed his in pass. No burn. Bond sparked cross-species. Voice full now. But silence taught louder. Power shifted. Hers quiet. Relentless. He could break her. Still, but called no backup. Keth's claws dug into Mara's upper arm. He hauled her down the corridor toward Med Bay. Her feet scraped the deck plating, but she twisted upright without a sound. No thrashing. No plea. The door hissed open. Silex Prime jerked upright from his console, multi-lensed eyes widening. Keth shoved Mara ahead of him. He slammed the diagnostic slate onto the exam table. Red alerts pulsed across the screen. Neuromuscular lock recurring in vocal tract. Burn returned at dawn cycle. Full roar failed again. Explain, Silex Prime rasped. His manipulators snatched the slate. Scanners whirred to life. Keth opened his maw. Gravel scraped out. Human. Trigger. He jabbed a claw at Mara. She stood calm. Arms loose at sides, observed the room like schematics. Silex Prime activated the full-body probe. Blue light swept Keth's throat. Muscles seized under the beam. Data streamed. Unknown peptide cascade. Your over-response peptides bind to human dermal factors. Locks the tract. Why now? Recovery logged. Keth growled low. Throat burned hotter. He flexed claws. Mara shifted. Her eyes flicked to the slate, then to him. Recreate, she said. Voice steady. Practical. Silex Prime's lenses clicked. Human specimen. Speak parameters. Mara ignored him. Stepped to the training dummy in the corner. Harnessed it like Keth's old restraint rig. Strapped tight, she mimed his grab. Exact angle. Thumb under jaw pivot. Fingers splayed across throat ridge. Pressure. Inward. Up. Mimicked his humiliation shove against the bulkhead. Keth's scales itched. Memory flashed. Her gasp then. His roar cut short. Voice stolen mid-threat. Dummy's sensors beeped. Simulated lock. Engaged. Match. Silex Prime confirmed. Angle compresses human gland cluster. Releases aerosol peptide. Bypasses our filters. Neuromuscular blockade. Keth snarled. Claws twitched toward Mara. She released the dummy. Met his glare. Yours too sensitive.
My normal grip. Fixes ships.
Brakes, warriors. Silex Prime's console chimed. Ship systems interfaced. Red override flashed. Alert. Biohazard trigger confirmed. Human Vance. Mara. Carrier vector. Quarantine protocol. Primary exposure subject and enforcer. Med bay sealed. Klaxons blared. Bay door slammed shut. Locks engaged with a hydraulic thud. Keth spun. Pounded the panel. No response. Override. Ship command locked, Silex Prime said. His manipulators danced over controls. Captain Haroon authorized. Human destabilizes. Your lapse proves it. Containment until purge cycle. Mara crossed arms. Leaned against the dummy. Purge? Silex Prime's voice filtered through the intercom. External now. Neutralize peptides. Monitor interaction. Data priority. His main body retreated to observation booth. Vents hummed. Cams active. Keth whirled on Mara, grabbed her shoulders, pinned her to the wall. Light this time. Throat tested a hiss. Burn spiked. He released. Stumbled back. She rubbed her arms. No bruise. Nodded, slow. Like before. He paced the bay. 10 paces end to end. Claws scraped metal. Power slipped. Mute again. Guard reduced. Her fault. Her calm mocked. Mara slid onto the exam bench. Accessed the slate. Fingers flew. Logs. Your scans. Cross-reference. Keth loomed over her. Breath ragged. Watched. She bypassed locks. Human trick. Pattern he missed. Data bloomed. Peptide graphs. Human resilience baseline. Aliens. Hyper-reactive. Why? His whisper scraped. She glanced up. Practical. You guard. I fix. Ship flies. Captain Haroon's comm crackled. Enforcer Ral Voren. Status. Keth snatched the intercom. Quarantine. Human contained. Data streams to bridge, Haroon growled. She unravels protocols. Utility trial suspended. Purge her if enforcer compromised. Keth's grip crushed the panel edge. Mara worked on. Ignored the threat. Her fingers paused. Pointed screen. Here. Antagonist compound. Your med stock. Dose low. Unlocks. Silex Prime's voice cut in. Negative. Unmodeled. Human alters variables. Keth snatched the injector. Mara measured. Precise. He jabbed his throat. Cool rush spread. Tested roar. Full volume rattled the bay. Mara smiled faint. Progress. He dropped the injector. Stared. Human fixed him. Again. No demand. No dominance. Door stayed locked. Vents watched. Haroon's scrutiny burned hotter than peptides. Keth positioned between Mara and cams. Bulk shielded her console. Claw brushed her back. Decon protocol skipped. No burn. She tapped data. Ship logs. Engine variants. Fixable. He grunted. Sat beside. Watched code flow. Her hands steady. Relentless. Hours cycled. Silex Prime probed vents. Peptide levels dropping. Interaction accelerates purge. Mara stretched. Offered water pouch from her kit. He took. Drank. Why protect? His voice cleared fully. She shrugged. Team. You strong. Me capable. Trust slow. Keth's tail lashed. Warrior code. Dominate threats. She fixed. Collaborated. Power shifted quiet. Haroon comment again. Enforcer. Human subdued. Keth glanced at Mara. Console glowed. Engine optimizations queued. Stable. Utility proven. Guard tight. Haroon warned. She breeds chaos. Keth cut calm. Stood between. Protected now. Asset. Bond. Mara's hand passed tool. Brushed his claw. Spark. No backlash. Silence taut. Voice returned. Control? Hers relentless. Quiet. Bay hummed. Quarantine held. Scrutiny from shadows. Keth leaned closer. Watched her work. Human normal. Alien extraordinary. Silex Prime's scan ran remote. Console flashed new alert. Ship systems updated. Mara Vance. Biohazard trigger. Contagion vector trust. Keth's scales prickled. He rose. Roar built. but throat held. Chose silence. Door stayed sealed. Cooperation deepened. Under hostile eyes. Mara paused, met his stare. Next fix? He nodded. Claw on her shoulder. Light, trust-tested. Vent's word louder. Prune's voice loomed unspoken. Order frayed. Keth guarded, rethought power. Her resilience reshaped him. Peptides faded. Bond endured. Ship shuddered faint. Engine smoothed. Her work. Warrior's doubt cracked. Human capability. Unbroken. Quarantine stretched. Proximity forced truth. He could call breach. End her. Chose watch. Learned. Cross species. Bond sparked. Silex Prime's data lied. No hazard. Revelation. Her normal. Is awe. Door lock clicked test.
Held.
Prune queried. Keth delayed answer. Protected. Shift complete. Keth slammed his claw against the quarantine bulkhead. The door stayed sealed. Prune's last comm echoed in his mind. Guard tight. Mara Vance crouched nearby, prying a loose panel from the wall with steady fingers. No panic. No pleas. She didn't bolt for the vent grate. He loomed over her, towered twice her height, scales bristling, his throat burned silent from the backlash, her human peptides clogging his vocal cords. Enforcer instincts screamed. Dominate. Subdue. He grabbed her shoulder, claws pricking fabric. Mara didn't flinch. She twisted free, eyes locked on his. Back off, big guy. We're stuck. Act smart. Her voice cut calm through the hum of failing vents. Keth snarled without sound, pushed harder. She rolled aside, snatched his restraint tether, the one meant to bind her, and looped it through a wall bracket. One yank. The tether cinched his wrist mid-swing, yanking him off balance. He crashed to one knee, claw scraping deck plating. She stood. Dust settled. Leverage. Physics doesn't care about your muscles. No triumph in her tone. Just fact. Keth wrenched free. Restraint snapped. He rose, chest heaving. Tested again. Lunged low. Mara sidestepped, used his momentum to shove him into the bunk frame. Pain flared in his shoulder ridge. She backed to the console, palms up. Fight me. We'd both lose air. Ship's failing. Help or hinder. Silence clawed his throat. He straightened, watched. She didn't run. Didn't cower. Stripped another panel instead. Loose conduits spilled out. She sorted them. Wires. Emitters. A flickering light cycle. Keth circled. Goal. Reassert control. Her every move mocked it. She taped wires to the bulkhead. Rigged taps against metal. Short, long patterns. Light pulsed in sync. One flash for yes. Two for no. She demonstrated. Tapped once on the bunk leg. Light blinked once. Pointed at him. Tapped twice. Light blinked twice. He froze. Signal code. From scraps. Her eyes dared him. Try it. Throat spasmed. He tapped once. Yes. I see. Light confirmed. She nodded. Reorganized the bay. Bunks aligned for airflow. Console cleared of debris. Hydration packs stacked by the hatch. Keth's scales itched. Humans broke. This one built. He grabbed a pack, crushed it in his claw. Water sprayed. Waste. Mara snatched another. Hydrate. Or spasms hit harder. She pressed it to his mandibles. Forced rhythm. Sip. Hold. Swallow. His body rebelled. Peptides fired. Chest seizing. She dropped to her knees. Breathe with me. In 4. Hold 4. Out 4. Demonstrated. Chest rose steady. He mimicked. Spasm eased. Air flowed. He pulled back, stared. Her routine worked. Goal shifted. Survive the backlash. Not crush her. Hours blurred. Vents wheezed drier. Mara tapped the code. Drink now. Light blinked. He complied. Copied her drills. Throat loosened fractionally. No roar yet. But control? Slipped. Silex Prime scan drone word in. Red lights swept them. Enforcer Ral Voran. Status? The medic's voice crackled clinical. Keth tapped furiously. Stable. Human utility. Mara leaned in. Tell Silex I'm optimizing base systems. Airflow up 12%. Drone relayed. Silex paused. Human vocal patterns detected. Anomaly. Biohazard protocols hold. Drone retreated. Keth glared at Mara. She shrugged. Data point. Use it. He tested intimidation once more. Rose to full height, claws flexed. Shadowed her at the console. She ignored him. Routed power to vents. Air freshened. Enough. He raised claw to strike. End the insolence. Paused. Her back turned. Vulnerable. But she'd turned his restraints. Saved his breath. Handed her the keycard instead. Slid it across the deck. Mara picked it up. No grab for the door. Unlocked a side panel. Exposed coolant lines. Good choice. Fix this. We live longer. Keth nodded. Claws steadied beside hers. They worked. Her hands small, precise. His massive, forceful. Line sealed. Console pinged. Systems nominal. Thirst clawed again. She tapped. Hydrate. He drank. Matched her breaths. Spasms faded. Bay transformed. Her domain now. Tools arrayed. Signal code lit steady. Keth sat, watched. Warrior's pride cracked. Humans fragile. This one, relentless normal. Prune's calm buzzed. Enforcer, report. Keth tapped the console relay. Mara optimized engines. Stable, human subdued, utility proven. Guard tight. She breeds chaos.
Keth, cut the line.
Stood between console and door, blocked the scan port. Mara passed a tool. Fingers brushed his claw. No spark. No backlash. He gripped it. Worked faster. Silex Prime's remote scan flared. Alert. Biohazard vector. Trust contagion. Keth's scales prickled. He rose. Roar built in chest. Throat held. Chose silence. Mara paused. Met his stare. Next fix. He nodded. Claw on her shoulder. Like pressure. Trust tested. Vent's word smoother. Her work. Prune's voice loomed in pending comms. Order frayed. Keth guarded the door. Rethought power. Her resilience reshaped scales. Peptides receded. Voice edged back. A rasp. Ship shuddered. Engine smoothed. Human capability. Quarantine stretched. Proximity forced truth. He could trigger breach alarm. End her. Chose to watch. Learned. Cross-species bond sparked. Silex's data lied. No hazard. Revelation hit. Her normal. His awe. Door lock clicked. Test cycle. Held. Prune queried again. Keth delayed. Protected her. Shift complete. Mara wiped sweat. Console's queuing optimizations. Ship thanks you. Keth rasped first word. Us. She grinned. Handed sealant gun. Damn right. Bulkhead groaned. Outer scans pinged. Pursuit ships closing. Prune's real threat loomed. Keth's claw tightened on hers. Cooperation deepened, under hostile eyes. But Bay hummed hers. He followed. Power redefined. A drone slipped through a vent slit. Silex Prime's voice pierced. Enforcer. Vocal recovery at 23%. Human proximity accelerates. Isolate now. Keth smashed it. Sparks flew. Mara laughed. My hero. Throat cleared more. Fix. Then fight. She nodded. Reorganized drone wreckage into backup light. Tapped code. Ready. Light blinked yes. Captain Hrune's full hail blared. Ral Voran. Breach quarantine. Human terminated. That's an order. Keth glanced at Mara. Console glowed. New engine tweaks queued. He rasped into comm. Negative. Asset secured. Silence from bridge. Mara's hand steadied his. Tell him utility. Keth did. Utility proven. Chaos controlled. Hrune growled. Silex confirms contagion. You're compromised. Data wrong. Keth cut comm. Stood guard. Mara worked. Bents purred. Ship. Accelerated. Keth's doubt cracked wide. Human. Normal. Unbroken. Warrior's world shifted. Proximity forced alliance. Trust built in taps and breaths. Door rattled. Override attempt. He braced. Claws ready. She passed welder. Reinforce. They did. Prune's forces massed outside. Bond held. Resilience won. Keth roared, voice full. Stand down. Bridge fell silent. Mara smiled. Told you. Breathe. He did. Together. Ship surged free. Her normal. They're extraordinary. Captain Harun's claw slammed the gallery dais. Ralavoran! Dragged the human forward. Discipline starts now. Keth shoved Mara ahead into the command gallery's harsh glare. Bridge crew hissed from shadowed alcoves. Silex Prime loomed at a console, scanner humming. Keth's throat burned, voice half-mended, clicks ragged. He gripped Mara's shoulder, forced her kneel. Mara didn't kneel. She straightened. Eyes locked on Hrun. Captain, your translation slate glitches. Line 47. Collar grab ritualizes dominance in your logs. Not ours. Hrun's frills flared. Crew murmured. Keth's mandibles parted. He rasped objection. Only broken clicks escaped.
Throat seized.
Human proximity backlash again. Mara glanced back. Her hand brushed his claw tip. Steady. Enforcer Ralvoran objects. He signals. Human utility outweighs risk. Vocal cords swell from dermal contact. Isolate failed. Silex Prime's scanner beeped. Confirmed. 28% recovery stalled. Human pheromones catalyze. Hrun leaned forward. Jaws clenched. Confess, soft skin. You compromised my enforcer. Sabotaged engines. Surrender for termination. Mara tapped the slate. Code scrolled in flawless ship script. Accusation. Captain Hrun breached quarantine protocol. 9. Alpha. Ordered termination without Silex clearance. Log attached. Gallery froze. Hrun's eyes narrowed. Crew claws scraped floors. Keth tensed. His warrior's instinct screamed attack, but Mara's calm anchored him. She breathed even. No flinch. Proof? Hrun snarled. Mara projected the hail log. Keth's own negative. Asset secured. Blared. Her tweaks glowed cued. Enforcer's orders. My fixes. Ship accelerates 12% over baseline. Pursuit lost. Silex tilted its head. Models shattered. Human baseline resilience exceeds projections. Pheromone cascade mutual. Keth benefits. Keth clicked fury. Tried words. Got wheezes. Mara translated.
He demands trial by labor.
Test human. Failing coolant spine in ventral hold.
Inspect together.
Hrun's gaze drilled Keth. You vouch? Mute and compromised? Mara nodded for him. Yes. Leash him to me. Watch. Silence stretched.
Hrun's frill collapsed.
Inspect spine. Report in 40 cycles. Fail both vented. Succeed. Review utility. Crew parted. Keth hauled Mara out. Door sealed behind. His claws dug her arm. Too tight. She didn't wince. Easy. Walk. Ventral corridors hummed wrong. Coolant vents hissed steam. Keth's voice clawed back. Whispers now. Why? Speak for me? Practical. Mara scanned a panel. You grabbed my collar. Triggered your biology. My normal sweat does that to you. Payback's sharing air. He grunted. Throat eased near her. Weakness. Teamwork. She pried a grate. Pipes groaned below. Spine failing. Leak at junction 7. Feel the vibration? Keth crouched. Claws probed. Yes. Microfracture pulsed. His tools outmatched human fingers, but hers danced precise. Salent incompatible. Need weld. Gallery eyes burned in his mind. Hrun's test. Leash them to failure. He smashed a loose plate. Sparks flew. Work. Mara laughed soft. Reclaimed shards. Improvised clamp. Your strength. My finesse. Breathe steady. Helps your chords. Proximity tugged. His speech cleared in bursts, clicks to growls. Her scent sharpened focus. Human normal. Sweat. Grit. Unyielding. Drone word from vent. Silex's voice. Isolate. Contagion spreads. Keth crushed it. Mara nodded. Good. Now, reroute flow. They dove deeper. Wah. Spine core throbbed heat. Alarms flickered. Keth braced a buckling strut. His mass held it. Mara fed wire through cracks. Sparks bit his hide. He ignored. Done. She sealed. Flow stabilized. Vents purred clean. Keth tested voice. Full rasp returned. Report. Calm crackled. Hrun. Status. Spine secure. Keth barked. Human essential. No leak. Output nominal. Pause. Silex. Data integrates. Human a symbiotic vector. Recommend retain. Hrun growled. Gallery reconvenes. Bring her. Keth's claw closed on Mara's. Not grab. Hold. She squeezed back. They climbed out. Crew waited at lifts. Whispers peaked. Gallery doors hissed open. Room stood center. Slate glowed green. Utility proven, but trust? Mara stepped forward, tapped code again. Captain, your logs show Ralvoran's decorations. 17 hunts, 0 losses. Now, human factor. 0 losses. Rethink power. Keth swelled. Warrior pride ignited. Her words, his echo. Silex scanned them both. Bond metrics off charts. Cross-species resilience cascade. Prune's mandibles clicked. One more test. Weapons bay breach. Drones inbound. Arm her. Fight with me. Eyes turned. Keth pushed Mara behind. No. Grabbed a shock lance from rack. Yes.
Show them!
Alarms wailed. Drones swarmed vents. Rogue code from pursuit ships. Crew scattered. Haroon roared charge. Keth lunged. Claws shredded first drone. Mara zapped second. Precise arc dropped it smoking. Flank left. He pivoted. Her call saved his side. Third drone dove her. Keth smashed it midair. Shrapnel grazed her arm. Blood welled. She bandaged one-handed. Kept firing. Haroon felled 4. Paused. Watched her. Soft skin endures. Drones thinned. Last pair circled high. Mara climbed console. Jumped. Lance pierced one. Keth caught her fall. Finished the other. Silence. Wreckage smoked. Crew stared. Haroon lowered weapon. Human Mara Vance. Retained. Quarters with Ralvoran. Monitor bond. Silex nodded. Optimal. Keth met Mara's eyes. Her grin flashed. Sweat beaded. Is cure her normal? He rasped low.
You fight. Good.
Team. She leaned in. Breath synced his pulse. Gallery cleared. They walked out. Claws linked. Hostile eyes followed. But spine purred. Ship surged. Power shifted. Not taken. Shared. Corridors narrowed to their quarters. Door sealed. Keth released her hand. Watched her scan room. Practical. Always. Why help? His voice full now. Strong. Mara sat. Patched arm. You grabbed first. Fair trade. Plus your ship's cool. Beats captivity. He loomed. Warrior frame dwarfed her. But no dominance. Humans underestimated. She shrugged. Normal day. Fix. Fight. Breathe. Proximity hummed. His frill relaxed. Trust built in clicks and calms. Door rattled. Silex drone again. Keth smashed preempt. Mara laughed. Reinforce? She held welder. Together. Ship jumped sectors. Pursuit faded. Rune's orders lightened. Bond deepened under scrutiny. Next cycle, alarms blared anew. Hull breach forward. Hrune hailed. Ralvoran. Human. Front line. Keth grinned mandibles. Ready. Mara nodded. Grabbed gear. Her resilience. His revelation. They charged. Warriors redefined. Keth burst through the forward hatch. Alarms shrieked. Coolant spewed in toxic arcs from a microfracture in the primary line. Mara skidded to a halt beside him, eyes scanning the rupture. Rune's voice boomed over comms. Ralvoran!
Human! Seal that breach!
Ship integrity at 12%. Keth's mandibles clicked. He grabbed a sealant kit. Mara waved him off. No time. Too volatile. She yanked a roll of emergency tape from her belt. Human gear she'd scavenged. No suit. No hesitation. She dropped flat and crawled into the access vent. Bare skin met freezing metal. Keth's frill flared. Mara! Wait! Her voice echoed back. Microfracture. Hand seal holds it. Fingers stretched toward the hissing crack. Tape slapped over the split. She pressed hard. Body braced against the spray. Coolant misted her face. She didn't flinch. Keth crouched at the vent mouth. His warrior plates itched to drag her out. Humans breathed this poison. No gear. Insane. Yet her hand stayed steady. Seal held. Leak slowed to drips. Silex Prime's drone hovered nearby, scanners whirring. Human dermal tolerance exceeds models. Note. Phase. 4 xenotoxins neutralized by epidermal barrier. Anomalous. Mara wriggled deeper. Bypass loop next. Cover me! Keth wedged his bulk into the vent behind her. Claws scraped durasteel. His bulk shadowed her form. Proximity hummed. Her calm pulse sinking his vents. Trust. Earned in wreckage. Pressure built. Line groaned. A pulse erupted. Raw coolant blast. Keth lunged. Claws hooked her waist. He yanked her back hard. Blast slammed his chest plates. Toxin scorched his frill. He curled around her. Plates locked tight, shielded her completely. She gasped once, then twisted free. Thanks. Now. Reroute. Pulse faded. Keth's vents rasped. Pain lanced his scales, but her skin? Pristine. Sweat beaded. Nothing more. Human normal. His revelation burned hotter than the blast. Mara clambered forward. She traced conduits with sure fingers. Bypass here. She pried a junction panel. Wires sparked. She twisted a loop. Manual reroute. No tools. Coolant flow shifted. Steady now. Breakers jammed, she called. Manual override. Keth peered past her. Breaker box glowed red, locked from overload. Mara reached in barehanded. Sparks bit her palms. She forced the lever, muscles strained. Click. Restart hummed. Line pressurized clean. Lights flickered on. Alarms silenced. Bay stabilized. Keth exhaled. Done. Mara grinned back. Palms blistered but ignored. Team. Silex's drone beeped approval. System nominal. Human intervention. 90 to 8% efficiency. Prune's comm crackled. Report. Before Keth answered, boots thundered. Squad of enforcers stormed in. 6 warriors, stunners raised. Lead hissed. Human tampered. Arrest for sabotage. Weapons snapped toward Mara. She froze mid-crawl, hands up. Keth exploded from the vent. He planted between her and the squad. Plates flared wide, claws extended. Stand down, lead enforcer snarled. Ralvoran, step aside, captain's orders. Human, fixed, nothing. She caused it. Keth's frill pulsed rage. She saved us. Voice boomed full, no rasp. His body still ached from the shield. Her resilience, his debt. Mara touched his arm. Calm anchor. Easy. Explain. Silex drone interjected. Data contradicts. Human sealed microfracture manually. Rerouted bypass. Forced breaker. No sabotage markers. Enforcers hesitated. Weapons dipped fractionally. Prune's voice cut in. Hold. Ral Voran. Escort human to medbay. Silex. Scan both. Full report. Squad lowered stunners. Grudging. Eyes burned hostile. Keth scooped Mara from the vent. She landed light on her feet. No protest. Her blistered hands flexed. Ignored still. They marched out. Squad trailed at distance. Whispers hissed. Ral Voran bonds with soft skin. She endures what kills us. Medbay doors hissed open. Silex Prime loomed at console. Multi-limbs tapping. Human first. Thermal analysis. Mara sat on exam slab. Just blisters. Fix easy. Silex scanned. Probes hummed. Blisters. 2nd-degree plasma. Healing baseline human rate. Coolant exposure. 0 systemic. Plates equivalent absent. Limbs paused. You entered unsuited.
Why? Practical.
Mara shrugged. Suit too slow. Tape works. Keth loomed by the door, watched. Her calm rewrote his world. Warriors armored for less. She? Bare hands. Silex turned to him. Ral Voran. Your plates. Pulse damage. He extended chest. Probes pricked. Pain flared. Muted.
Minor. 3rd-degree etch.
Frill inflammation from toxin rebound. Silex applied gel. You shielded. Unnecessary. Human endured prior exposure. Keth met Mara's eyes. Her grin flashed. Sweat dried. His cure before, her normal now. Prune entered. Armor gleamed. Eyes flicked between them. Explain breach. Mara spoke first. Microfracture from jump stress. Lance skirmish weakened hull. Standard fix. Prune's vents cycled slow. You acted alone. With him. She nodded at Keth. Silex chimed. Bond metrics rising. Ral Voran vitals synced to human proximity. Mute episode reversed post-contact. Prune's gaze sharpened. The backlash. Human proximity cured. Keth stiffened. Old humiliation burned. His coercive grip on her. Venom backlash stealing speech. Warriors mocked then. Now? Mara leaned forward. He grabbed me first in the fight. Fair trade. Prune studied her. You fight, Bix. Endure. Destabilizing. Stabilizing. Keth growled. She shares capability. Silence stretched. Haroon's claws tapped. Quarters remain shared. Monitor continues. Dismissed. They exited medbay. Corridors buzzed quieter. Crew eyes followed. Less hostile. More wary. Keth's hand brushed hers. Claws linked instinctive. Her pulse steadied his. Door to quarters sealed. Mara scanned room anew. Practical eyes. Blisters sting. Got salve? He rummaged kit. Applied to her palms. Dental for warrior claws. Why bare-handed? Trained for it. Earth techs crawl tight spaces. No drama. She flexed fingers. Your plates saved worse. His frill relaxed. Touch lingered. Humans. Normal breaks us. She laughed soft. Your ships impress. Team fixes. Proximity hummed deeper. Trust clicked into place. No dominance. Shared. Drone rattled door. Silex again. Keth smashed it preempt. Mara welded reinforcements. Together. Ship jumped clean. Pursuit ghosts faded. Next cycle dawned hostile. Comm blared. Intruder alert. Engineering deck. Keth grabbed gear. Mara nodded. Ready. They charged. Her hand in his. Power shifted. Not seized. Forged. Enforcers waited in shadows. Weapons hot. Ralvoran. Human stays. He stepped forward. Shield again.
She comes!
Blasters whined charge. Mara tensed behind. Her resilience. His line, unbreakable. Blasters whined to full charge. Keth planted his shield wide, blocking the squad's line of fire. 4 enforcers crouched in engineering's dim glow. Claws tight on triggers. Sparks danced from a breached conduit behind them. Intruder damage, fresh and smoking. Ralvoran, squad leader hissed. Human stays back. Captain's direct. She comes. Keth's frill flared. His voice rasped steady, but fatigue clawed deeper. The human's pheromones lingered on his scales from their sprint. Steadying, unbreakable. Mara shifted behind him, her breath even. Fingers brushed his flank. Ready signal. Prune's hologram flickered to life above the main console. The captain's eyes narrowed, mandibles clicking. Enforcer Ralvoran, report intruder. And restrain the human. She destabilizes. Squad surged forward. Boots thudded on deck plates. Keth slammed his fist down. The deck shuddered under reinforced knuckles. Vibration rattled tools from racks. Enforcers froze mid-step. Eyes wide. Old! Keth's growl echoed. She fixed the jump drive. She comes. Restrain her. Now. Mara dodged left. Her hand slapped a wall panel. Fingers danced. Tap code. Precise. Earth tech rhythm. Intercom blared ship-wide. Her voice crackled through every deck. Calm and clipped. Repair log. Cycle 47. Fixed plasma relays. Logged efficiency gain 23%. Cycle 48. Sealed hull microfractures. No breach risk. Vance, technician. Crew chatter exploded over open comms. The soft skin? She patched the core. Jump held because... Enforcers flinched. Weapons dipped a fraction. Keth's frill twitched pride. For normal, broadcast truth. Ship heard. But squad leader snarled. Lies. Soft skin sabotage. Barked. Silence. Broadcast. Restrain. Pressure crushed in. Keth spun, grabbed Mara's arm. Claws dug too deep. Coercive pull back, protect her from fire. Humiliate the threat? No. Mistake. Her skin flushed hot under grip. Pheromone spike hit him. Sharp biological backlash. Throat seized. Voice choked silent. Keth released. Clawed at neck. No sound. Mute again. Eyes locked hers. Apology flash. Mara yanked free. Palms blistered raw, but steady. She lunged past shield gap. Fingers flew over conduit panel. Sparks bit skin. She twisted wires bare-handed. Squad raised weapons. Keth lunged forward. Silent roar in chest. Shield bashed leader's blaster aside. Fists flew. Crack of plates on armor. He downed one. 2 grappled his legs. Mara sealed the breach. Light stabilized. Intruder alarm cut silent. False ping. Sabotage cleared. Brune's hologram sharpened. What sabotage? Enforcers piled on Keth. Claws pinned arms. Mara spun, wrench in hand. Defensive arc. Footsteps clanged. Silex Prime burst in. Injector primed. Standoff detected. Biological cascade confirmed. Medic dodged grapple. Needle plunged Keth's neck. Counteragent burned cold. Voice ripped free mid-pinning. "Captain!"
My fault.
Enforcers froze. Keth heaved them off. Stood tall. Drill dominant. Shield locked on Mara. Prune's mandibles stilled. Raul Voron. "Explain." I coerced. Grabbed her. Triggered backlash. Keth's claws flexed. Throat cleared full. Human capability stabilizes. Repair logs prove. Grant protected status. Now, silence gripped Bay. Squad eyes darted. Mara behind him. Palm smoking. Conduit purring clean. Silex scanned. Pheromone models fail again. Human resilience exceeds parameters. 87% efficiency on breach fix.
Mara wiped hands. Met Hrune's gaze.
No flinch. Intruder trace. Internal hack. Fixed source. Hrune's claws tapped hologram edge. Protected. Under your monitor, Ralvaran. Prove stability. Hologram winked out. Squad backed off. Muttered retreats. Eyes on Mara. Wary respect now. Keth turned. Her blisters wept clear. He offered salve from belt. Claws gentle this time. She took it. Smeared palms. Teamwork. His frill linked instinctive. Hand brushed hers. Pulse synced. Hers calm fed his storm. Silex lingered. Scanner beeped. Data point. Cross-species bond alters cascade. Monitor closely. Medic left. Bay hummed quiet. Cat signed. Y-tap code. Practical. Mara flexed fingers. Earth techs log everything. Ships listen. He nodded. Rethink hit deep. Power? Not seized. Shared. Her normal rewrote control. Comm buzzed low. Crew chatter lingered. Her voice echoing. Trust forged hotter. But shadows stirred in far vents. Real intruder? Eyes gleamed. Keth gripped gear. Mara nodded. Together. Blaster whine echoed faint. New alert building.